Welcome, everybody. Today's Wednesday edition of the Almost Daily Dave, and a new time now, 9 o'clock. And quite honestly, that's the deal when you're doing shows like this. Sometimes life gets in the way and 10 o'clock becomes inconvenient. So for the most part, this is going to be a 9 a.m. show, and thank you for tuning in. The theme today will be overachieving, because we're looking at one team that is currently doing it, and is there another South Florida team that could do it? And the team that is doing it, obviously, the Miami Heat. When you beat a one seed that won 62 or 60-plus regular season games and had the dominant player in the league, or one of the maybe three dominant players in the league this year, defensive player of the year, he's going to be the MVP in Giannis, and you just brush them aside like lint off of your jacket, is that an overachieving? A little bit. But we know this year's different. There was no real home court advantage for either team. And that's something that is just part of what's been built into this Orlando bubble. Nevertheless, it's the first time that a Miami team has made the Eastern Conference Finals that was lower than a 2 seed. Yes, the circumstances are different. But if you look, there is an established star in Jimmy Butler, but he's far from a superstar. He's far from a one-man team. And that's what's making this bunch work so well. Yesterday was Tyler Hero hitting big shots in the fourth quarter. Other games, it's been Dragic. Other games, it has been Butler going off and having a big game. Or, as Tim Reynolds of the Associated Press put it last week, filling the box score, which Butler is a champion at. And what that cliche means is that you put in points, you put in a lot of rebounds, maybe you have steals or assists, and you just put numbers in a box score. And it doesn't even show up until you look at that box later and go, holy smokes, look what this guy did. He had a really balanced game. You guys know it's not always about just pouring down 50 points in a game to be successful as a player. There's plenty of other aspects in which you can help a team out. And that's why this team is unique. And that's why we look at them as overachievers, because they're lacking the guy that everybody recognizes walking down the street. But it's working beautifully. Just to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and be one of the 4 last teams left in this bizarre season is a remarkable achievement. And is this team affected negatively by this bubble? Doesn't seem like it. And that comes from the leadership of the players and the coaches and the maturity these players show. They now know, and I understand about the bubble not being the greatest environment of all time. Missing family, missing friends. Some players have told their families, don't come. You can't go to the theme parks if you have children. You're not going to a lot of the places that might be fun to go in that area at Disney. You're pretty strapped down in order to finish the season. And this will produce a worthy champion. I will not fight you on it, but I'll argue with you about it, because no champion has ever had to do anything like this before. And the same goes for the National Hockey League. No champion has ever had to do anything like that before in the NHL. So whoever gets the Stanley Cup, whoever hoists the Larry O'Brien trophy, has earned it in a manner that we have never, ever seen before, and hopefully we'll never, ever see again. Now, who's the other overachieving team? Well, we've got South Florida's 2 favorite football teams starting this week. No, I don't mean the Dolphins and the Jets. No, I don't mean the Gators and the Seminoles. I do mean the Dolphins and the Hurricanes. Now, the Hurricanes start tomorrow. And Friday, we'll have a review of that game and kind of an overall look at this team with the Orange Bowl boys, who have a wonderful podcast. You can find them on Twitter. You can be a patron, or is that a Patronian, or whatever it is. You can do that for them too. And they're going to be on, and certainly they'll give us their thoughts on what happens tomorrow night in what is a new look Miami offense and what they expect is going to happen during the season. The other team is clearly the Dolphins, because the range of thoughts on the Dolphins go from, now they're going to win 6, but they're getting better, to they're going to win the division and be in the playoffs. And it's not just because of the Tua draft pick, by the way. Slowly but surely, they're starting to put together a pretty savvy-looking outfit. One of the best things they've done is built a secondary that, barring injury, is going to be as good as any in the NFL, unless these guys somehow massively underachieve, which is the opposite of today's theme, which is overachievement. The line play does need work. They were weak on offensive line last year. They were weak on defensive line last year. Teams are going to start this season by trying to run on them. And they play the Patriots first. And we don't even know what to expect from the Patriots. They're new. Brady's gone. Cam Newton's the quarterback. He's got a lot to prove. So that first game is really, I think, one of the better NFL matchups, because the Dolphins are becoming known I still think their running game could be better. We know Fitzpatrick's going to start this season, but at what point does Tua get to play? Fitzpatrick is rolling right along. Why would you make a change? I don't think you do. So you've got two teams that could overachieve. For Miami Hurricanes, there's a ton of pressure on them because last year was such a disappointment. And there was so much hype and so much of, oh, Manny Diaz won the offseason. Well, he had another great offseason this year. The problem is it's now time for the season. And in addition to all the other things that you're fighting this year with all of the issues with COVID, you've got to still produce on the field. I don't know if too many athletic directors are going to go, it's COVID, don't worry about going 3-8. I don't think so. So overachievement with the Heat, we see it already. They've done it. If something happens in the Eastern Conference Finals and this doesn't work out, this is still, in my book, a highly successful season. The way they have managed all of the noise around them, dealing with all of the bubble, better than just about anybody else. And very quietly going about their business. Now it's going to start getting a lot noisier, of course, because they're in the conference finals. They're a fascinating team to watch. They're fun to watch. And we'll see how they do against how this all turns out. For the Dolphins, interesting story. We're probably somewhere in the middle between barely winning 6 games and winning 10 or 11 and winning a division is likely where they're going to wind up. It's clear they're improving. And as for the Hurricanes, we really don't know because you're about to see an offense if you've never seen run at Miami before. So this takes me back to Dennis Erickson. And I'll talk to the guys on Friday about that. When Dennis Erickson brought in a one-back offense, we were like, what are you doing? What is this? Worked out 2 national titles later. So maybe you'll have an overachieving day. As for me, I got to go to the dentist. So, yeah, lots of bloody gums today. I will definitely achieve that. So I'll talk to you tomorrow with the Almost Daily Dave. Until then, I'll see you. Take care.